Hey y'all, welcome to Caffeinated Crafting. My name is Daniela, known as Caffeinated Gert around the interwebs. It is Sunday, May 13th. Happy Mother's Day, y'all. So those are mommies to awesome little children or awesome little fuzzy babies. Hope you guys have a fun, relaxing day today. I wanted to say howdy, share my new knit crate and some quilting I've done over the last couple of weeks. There's really not been any knitting except I did cast on a sock. So I will share that with you. And here we go. So first of all, I have some finished objects. Well, I have one completely finished objects and the other ones are kind of practice. So they won't be finished until they're all put together into a sampler. But anyway, so finished. Remember the little flower I showed you guys that I made that with raw edge applique? And remember how I couldn't stop making those? Or maybe it was after I recorded. Couldn't stop making them. It's too much fun. So I made a whole bunch. And then I sewed the squares together. And then I had this fabric that had butterflies on it. So I cut butterflies out and stuck them on top and sewed them on also. So now I have a table runner slash Tiger's Feeling Better. Isn't that awesome? So I have a table runner. Actually, I'll probably use it as a wall hanging. The butterfly fabric looked like this. And it's sparkly, which makes it even more awesome. Honey, you need to not get in my coffee, baby. You know that's not allowed. It's my coffee. I got a new mug. Check this out. I really need a day between Saturday and Sunday. And it's so true. Because Saturday's always busy, running around doing stuff. And then Sunday, I like to just kind of chill at home. And then it's already Monday again. No. Not right now, baby. Not right now. Okay. I did most of this by hand. I did sew the squares together with machine because, you know, I'm not nuts. But I did sew all the flower applique by hand and got some tips. So I had done my first bit of Tiger. All right, well then lay down. You can't, I'm not going to pet you right now. You can lay down. Lay down. He is so needy. Needs all the attention. If I'm talking, he's there. If I'm trying to talk to Pistachio or my husband or my child, doesn't matter. Tiger's the one that needs all the attention. Don't you? You're so needy. Anyway, so I had done the first few flowers and I took it back when I went to Quilt Guild to show them what I'd done. And one of the ladies that had given the demonstration, not the lady that did the flowers, but the other lady that had shown the raw edge applique, told me to make my flowers better, I could put, or applique better in general, put it on some fusible backing, some interfacing, like thin interfacing that's double stick, you know, sticks on both sides. And that would give it a little more fluff, I guess, a little more stability, and the edges around my project won't fray as much. They'll still fray because that's just the way it is when you have a raw edge, but it'll look much tidier and it'll be it just look nicer. So when I did the butterflies, and I can tell the difference because some of the butterflies I had already cut out and started and some of them I put on interfacing before I put them on here, and I can really tell the difference. They're just they're a little plumper and they just look nicer. She also suggested instead of using a single thread, which is what I had been doing because, you know, this is all practice. I had never done it before. To hold my thread double so I get a more of a definition around on my edge as on my stitches. And so I did that with the butterflies because I did all the butterflies after I saw her, and I do quite like how it looks, and you can see that they're better defined with the stitches. Yes, Tiger, I know you're there. Okay. Can you lay down though? If you're going to be up here, you need to lay down. No, I'm not going to pet you right now. Not right now, baby. Lay down. He's like pawing at me. I see your hand. Give me your hand. Pet me. So anyway, this is my little table runner. Oh, also, this is the first time I bound anything, and there were some lessons there too. You know, if you're going to get in my coffee, you're going to have to go. You're going to have to go. Come on. Jump on down. Go on. Go on. I am not petting you right now, dude. I have given you lots of pets already today, and I'm busy right now. Come on. Come on. Go on. I have never met a more stubborn cat than this one. Never. And he doesn't give up either. Will you just go on, please? Come on. I bound this. I did not bind it well. When I got to the last corner, I finally did a corner correctly. I watched a Craftsy class. Craftsy has unlimited weekend this weekend. So I watched, okay buddy, go on. I watched a Craftsy class on binding, finishing your quilt binding and such. And so I've learned a few things, and then I've had some, my always smart Dawn told me some things, and my friend Tracy's going to help me. So I want to practice binding little quilt thingies a bit more before I get to my great big quilt, because I want it to look good. I'm okay with practice not being perfect, but and not that the big quilt will be perfect, but I want it to look good. So the other quilty things that are sort of finished but not really finished is the Quilt Guild does a block of the month that will eventually be sewn all together into a sampler. So it'll be like a wall hanging type thing. And I am now caught up. So I did my first English paper piecing, and that was so much fun. I fussy cut my little kitties, so I got little kitties in there. And it was also nice because I used fabric from like the very first weekend after Dawn gave me my lesson, and even that first lesson where she showed me how to cut fabric, my quilting lesson, I used fabric that was still little squares from that. So I'm glad that stuff's getting moved out, because I'm gonna keep thinking, what am I gonna do with those little squares? I had a good time cutting them, but what am I gonna do with them now? So anyway, I used some of them for this, and then I also used some of them for this. This is a Dresden plate, so very first Dresden plate. Super excited. It was way easier than I thought it would be. And actually the English paper piecing wasn't bad either. I did all of this by hand, which made it portable, which made it awesome, which is why there's no knitting, because I didn't need knitting to go out and about because I had this. Yeah. And so then the Dresden plate, I did the surrounding area, the little, I don't know, I did the wheel part on the machine. And then I did this like I would a paper piecing type thing. It's just a circle. I did that part by hand, and then I sewed it onto the fabric by hand. The next one I did all on the machine. I did a pineapple, yo! Look at that. I am so pleased with how that looks. But it was a lot of work in that there was a lot of sew a little bit, get up, iron, cut, sew a little bit, get up, iron, cut. But I really love how it looks, so it was totally worth it. And I used the same kitty. I have a bit more of this kitty fabric. It's left over from Aiden's quilt. And since these are all going to get sewn together at some point, I wanted to try to kind of use the same fabrics a little bit, so they will kind of go together. So they all have this orange in it. No, they don't. This one doesn't. This one has the kitties in it though. Then this one has the kitty fabric. And then this one has, so these two have matching fabric. And then these two have matching fabrics. So then they're not all, I want them to go kind of together. But I also want to use up leftovers. And so I'm trying to use up, trying to make it work. I'm curious to see what the next little project will look like. We have Guild on Thursday and we'll get our next block. So I'm super excited because it's really fun. I would never have tried this if it wasn't for Guild having this little quilt block a month challenge. And I would never have tried this yet because I would have been like, yeah, I don't know. But they give us instructions. So like they're like, this one lady does them. They're like all handwritten, nice little instructions. And if we have questions, we can ask her and whatnot. And it's fabulous. So glad that I found this awesome group of ladies. So I was inspired by the English paper piecing, and you all know I've been working on I keep calling it the husband's quilt, but it is now the bed quilt because I'm making it big enough to go on our bed because he's not going to use a quilt all by himself. This won't happen. I know him. He's always hot. But so I used the fabric that I have in the quilt, and I'm making some of the blocks will have paper piecing, but they're big pieces. So I have 5 bags for 5 squares, and these I can tote around and work on as I'm out and about, which will be really nice, and they'll actually get made. Some of them I already have basted. Let me see if I could show you that. No, that's not a basted one. Oh goodness, let me put my bag up here. So what you do is you put them around the form. There we go. You put them around the form and hold the fabric in place with, in my case, big old paper clips. I find that works really well. And then you go back through and you baste just around the edges. See where I just kind of very lightly sewed around the edges, and then they get sewn together, and then once they're sewn together, then that back stays down. See, like that. So, and once you have one little hexie surrounded by all hexies, then you can pop the cardboard out. So super excited, and that'll give it a little more interest. I'm keeping it kind of geometric, the interest, because so I will have and my little papers over there. So I'll show you the layout of the quilt next time, and I'll probably be further along anyway at that point, which will be good. Let me see. I went to the Sparta Quilt Show last weekend. Yeah, I think last Friday, and found some cool tools. I didn't know they made tools for this. Now for my pineapple, I did not use this tool because this is for a large pineapple where the center square is like 2 by 2 inches, and mine was like 1.5 inches, and my pieces were smaller. So for mine, I followed the directions that came with my little tutorial. But with this, it's so much easier. So when I decide to do a big pineapple, I'm going to use this. Did I show you the guys? No, I haven't recorded since I did that. So you can make a 6-inch, an 8-inch, and a 10-inch block with this tool. And it is by Creative Grids. I also got this one, which is for a curvy log cabin. And I got it because I found a pattern that I really liked that had a curvy log cabin in it. And the vendor that I bought that from, and it's really funny because she's actually like her mom is more of, I'm closer to her mom. I used to work with her mom for like 10 years when I worked at Cracker Barrel, and she is a freaking fantastic quilter, and she does everything by hand, embroidery, everything on the quilt. They're just, I mean, just ridiculously beautiful. But I completely forgot right before I moved away from home, they had opened a quilt store. So she was one of the vendors, and so I got to reconnect with her, which was awesome. So I'm going to have to road trip down to Harriman, and the store is called Loose Threads, I think. Anyway, in Harriman, Tennessee. And so I'm going to go check that out, and we're going to have a little road trip one day. Road trips next weekend is Kentucky Sheep and Wool Festival. I'll be in Kentucky next Saturday, so if you guys are going to the Kentucky Sheep and Wool Festival, come say hi if you see me. And then the following week, Saturday, I'll be at the Dixon Fiber Festival, the Middle Tennessee Fiber Festival in Dixon. I'm going to take a weaving class that Saturday. That'll be fun. It's Memorial Day weekend, so I probably won't record until Monday. I should have Monday off, I think. But I'll be out of town visiting the in-laws all weekend for that. That's our tradition at this point. So my mother-in-law and I are going to take the weaving class together. Let's see. Let me show you my awesome knit crate that came. Don't forget, if you decide you want to give Knit Crate a shot, you can get 20% off your first subscription for delivery thingy by using Caffeinated 20, because it's 20%. Caffeinated 20. There's more information in the Ravelry group if you're interested. I am really impressed so far with these. This time it came with, I can't get my box. It comes in a cute little box. Here's my box. And it came with, I want to say it came with 3 patterns this time, right? Yes. So it came with a crochet design. No, it came with two patterns. So the crochet design this time is cabled clutch, and it looks like this. And the knit pattern is Daxis, and it's a big old shawly cowl thing. Really pretty. My thought though, when I opened this box, immediately was socks. It's really squishy yarn. It's 40% merino, 40% Peruvian Highland wool, 20% nylon, fingering weight, 437 yards. And I have 2 skeins. And this marled goodness, it just instantly screamed socks to me. So I probably won't knit the pattern that came with this particular box with this particular yarn. I really like this shawly cowly thing, but with my coloring, this would not work for me. But like maybe in a nice, I don't know, purple or some other, in a different color, I would really like this pattern. It's really pretty. This color just does nothing for me. But I think it would make, and what my thought was, man socks, because it looks like it would make awesome man socks. Am I right? For someone with a different color. Now, for example, Mandy Cat, with her coloring, she wears the beiges and browns really well. That would be beautiful. I just look kind of dead in neutrals mostly, which is probably why I look kind of dead today, because I was like, oh. But anyway, such is life. We all have our colors that look good, or that we feel happy in. I have one more month of Knit Crate that they're sending me these for free, so I can share them with you and share the coupon code with you. So if you are interested, go check them out. This month, it was a contemporary theme, and I love contemporary. So like I said, I really like the pattern, we will see how it goes. And you can check them out. You can also check them out on Instagram, Knit Crate, and then the website is knitcrate.com. Whee-oo. So the only other thing I have for you is a sock I started. It is knit out of Groovy Baby tie-dye sock blank by Twist Fiber Studio. I have a cuff. Here's my yarn. I started the sock because we're going to see Infinity Wars today and I needed something to knit in the theater. Otherwise, this would not have even been started. I knit this much last night while I watched Spider-Man Homecoming. Friday night, we watched Thor Ragnarok. I had already seen it, but the manfolk had not, and they needed to watch it before they could go see Infinity Wars today. And I pulled the Mother's Day card and said, I want to go see that. They were kind of like, yeah, I don't know. We don't go to the movie theater very often, so it's kind of a, I don't know. But I really want to go see that one. We usually go see the superhero, the movies at the theater. So, yeah, that's why there's a sock on the needle. Plus, this will be my around the Fiberfest knitting next weekend. So, I thought Ashley, Carolina Spinner of Twist Fiber Studio, is going to be there as a vendor. So I thought, oh, I'll have that with me and I can show her what I'm working on. I thought that would be fun. All right, you guys. I think that's all I have. I'm going to get back to quilting. I'm working on the big quilt today, the big pieces. I've got some pieces where it's patchwork, but like I started, around the edge. And then I have some blocks that'll just be solid fabric, so I just need to quilt those. My goal today is to finish the blocks that are patchworked. There's 12 of those, and they're big. So we will see how that goes. You guys have a lovely Mother Day. Have a couple of great weeks. See you guys later. Bye.